any other girls out there who have it, how they are coping with a lot of the symptoms that come along with having Hashimoto's.
Welcome to Lost Girl Therapy. I got diagnosed with Hashimoto's in 2019, and here is how I've handled it since then. So in the 5 or almost 6 years that I have had it, I've never gone on medication. I worked with a integrative health specialist at Weill Cornell's integrative health department. She was incredible. And I worked with her specifically because I wanted to treat Hashimoto's without needing to go on medication, mainly because my inflammation, like my thyroid antibodies were really high, but my T4, T3 had not been compromised yet. This is actually the first year, about, 3 months ago, I got a call from my endocrinologist, and this is the first time in 6 years that my T4 was getting to a point of concern. And the first thing I did when I found that out was I called the integrative health specialist and I said, we have to address the regimen that I am on. You have to work with a trusted practitioner. The holistic care route for me was so beneficial because it actually got rid of the majority of the thyroid symptoms that I was dealing with. Yes, I went gluten-free. Yes, I changed my workouts, but to be perfectly honest, the supplements that I started taking started getting rid of my brain fog, the hot and cold intolerance, the dry skin, the brittle nails, the hair falling out, all of that stuff. Everything just started getting better. And the reason I'm not telling you what I'm taking is because you do have to work with a trusted practitioner. Taking supplements on just randomly, especially if you do your own research, can be incredibly harmful. I actually had an experience where I was taking iodine and Hashimoto's do not go together. So you really need to work with somebody who knows what they're doing, but there are plenty of ways to address Hashimoto's, especially if you're in the earlier stages, without needing to go on medication. I'm very curious to see how my blood work is going to look when I get it done next month and see if the adjustments that I've been making with this practitioner have improved my T4 and my T3. It's allowed me to remain stable over the last 6 years, and I'm so grateful that I trusted my intuition and I looked for alternative ways to heal, especially because when I first got diagnosed, the endocrinologist was like, it's time for medication. And then when I asked why, they didn't really have a justification for it outside of the fact that I had high antibodies. It's not to say that the medication is not helpful. It is, but I was at a point where I was not ready to go on it because my function was not compromised. I had that high antibodies, and from the research that I had done and consulting with multiple other doctors, there were so many other ways to address those early symptoms that then virtually eliminated the majority of symptoms that I was experiencing in my day-to-day life. The brain fog went away, the hot and cold intolerance went away, the dry skin, the dry nails, hair falling out, all of that disappeared the moment that I got on a regimen when I worked with a practitioner who I trusted, who also had the clinical knowledge to do this work.